Good morning. I'm delighted this morning to be joined by one of our great parents, David Andersen. We're going to have a chat to. Those who attended the Father's Day breakfast a number of years ago would remember David was a guest at that occasion, and we had a chat about all things to do with sport, life and fatherhood. And I'm very grateful that he's joined me this morning for this chat. Hello, David. How are you?
Hi, Stuart. Good. Doing
That's
great, thanks.
It's great to see you. And I've chosen the backdrop this morning in your honour.
That's very nice.
Are you still playing basketball at all?
I'm training just a little bit. We can't really do too much because due to the lockdowns, obviously. I snuck in with in the NBL with the Melbourne United. I don't know if you know, we won the championship in June, which was great. But as a professional now, a lot of the NBL is on hold and things like that. And in saying that, I am getting to the end of my tenure as a professional athlete. So, yeah, bit of a change in the scenery, but still keeping me busy and on the court a little bit.
In saying that, I think you mentioned that last time, but you're still going strong, and you were outstanding for Melbourne United this year, and so that must have been a great thrill.
Yes, no, it was very good. So yeah, it's one of those things you just try and, as a professional athlete, you've been used to it for so many years, so you kind of hold on to it for a little while longer and try and contribute where you can. So it's challenging to give it away, but slowly drifting down that path to retirement.
Sure. And with the NBL, how has that changed this year because of the COVID restrictions? Were you away from home a lot?
Yes, unfortunately, I signed on with the team. So I didn't sign with the team for most of the year, and then I signed on with Melbourne United right at the end as a bit of a mentor and a contributor in case of injuries and stuff. So, but in actual fact, we were supposed to schedule for a few games at home, but they all got cancelled due to the lockdowns in Victoria. So we were actually I was away from the family for about 5 or 6 weeks at a time, due to go away only for a road trip to Brisbane for 2 days, ended up being 5 or 6 weeks away, which was quite a challenge for my family, my wife, but she did a great job, looked after the kids and has always done that. But yeah, so it was quite challenging. NBL had to move games, change the formats of games. It was very difficult and will be for the next season, I believe.
Sure. And I suppose we were quite excited about the performance of the Boomers at the Olympic Games this year. And how do you feel about that?
It was amazing. I mean, I'll admit I was jealous watching it. I'm used to being there. Obviously, Rio Olympics, and last time we caught up after that it was the last Olympics and last stint with the Boomers. That was an amazing experience, and to watch the guys go through it this time, I'm close with a couple of players too, so I was messaging and just really proud, great sense of pride. There has been talk of the Boomers culture, and that's something I've cultivated over the 16 years I've been involved with it. And a lot of the veterans of the team spoke about that and said how important it was, instrumental in getting the bronze medal. But amazing times and a great feat for Australian basketball.
Tell me a bit about how are the professional sports people maintaining sort of their own fitness during such tight restrictions?
Well, it's hard. It's as professionals, you can actually go and train with the team. So with Melbourne United, we were able to go into the gym because it's our work and we have to obviously be able to do it. But now that it's not, you're kind of in preparation in limbo. So you have to basically, you just got to commit to your own schedule and stay motivated is the hard part, I suppose, because like everyone, it gets a bit hard when you're by yourself and you got to train. It's never easy. You're used to a team format where you got 10 guys and you get competitive with each other and that drives you quite a bit. Whereas now it's on you just to make sure you do your own training, your own weights. You go for runs, you do your bike rides, you do your other stuff off the court because you can't get to a court nowadays. So there's challenges in itself, and it's a lot of it rides on the individual and your character, I suppose, your character strength to be able to perform and do things off your own off your own motivation.
And during this, I suppose, this lockdown periods we've had over the last 2 years, have you found other interests to sort of help your own well-being and your own your future?
Oh, definitely. I mean, in saying that, I am at the end of my tenure. I'm 41 years old and probably should have retired 5 years ago after we last time caught up, but I'm holding on and staying motivated. So I'm doing that and keeping me busy. But I do have other invested interests. Like I have a farm down in Leongatha, and I've got kids obviously to keep me busy as well. So a couple of things that keep me really busy. Speaking of kids, here's my littlest one, Olivia. He's just run in.
Hello.
Daddy's just doing an interview. Is that fine, Mama? Yes, so
That's a pleasure. It's
that's it.
great. It's great to have her there. And maybe we should discuss what it's like being a dad at home and teaching your children.
Oh, it's hard work. I mean, I've got to admit, my wife Nerida is very good at looking after them and keeping them on top of things. So, but yeah, it's a challenge definitely. So I help out when I can, and I try to keep them motivated, which I think is the hardest part, because obviously the kids will be around in their schools with their mates doing things like that, and it makes it a lot easier. Now, obviously being isolated, they have to stay away. It's kind of it's a big challenge for them and stuff like that. So unfortunately, or fortunately, like I said, we've been lucky. Our kids are doing the work and keeping everything busy, and my wife does a great job of making sure they're on time for their calls and checking in with their teachers and everything like that.
Yeah. And have you found that you actually have more family time now because of this too?
Yes, that's very true. I mean, it was one of my things on my to-do list once I finished the season with Melbourne United, because I was away for such a long time and I couldn't be around them as much. I wanted to reconnect with them, especially my younger one, Livio. He's just about to turn 4, and so I was busy just spending more time with them. And kind of the positive in this lockdowns is that you're around them all the time. So I feel like that's happened very well. And obviously giving them a bit of love back is a great thing, and I feel like I've reconnected with them. So, and I'm obviously instrumental in making sure they're keeping their learning going with their homeschooling.
Sure. The my final question, David, for today is, I suppose, just any worldly advice for being a good dad.
For being a good dad,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in line for Father of the Year awards, although I do always joke with some of my friends that I am. I think the best thing you can do is just, I mean, being a dad is just being around, contributing time to your kids. I think that's one thing we lose. We get a bit too busy and caught up in the rat race of the world, and get to them and do simple things with them. It doesn't always have to be like a huge, task or some mundane jobs. I remember things I loved most was when I went away with my father we had a farm or a little cottage we used to stay at, and just fixing a shed or driving around the paddock, doing some mundane tasks around the house with gardening or things like this. Those are the ones you remember, where you just have a little bit of banter, you're talking about things. All those simple things in life really help, I feel.
Yeah, that's very true. I see so many families out now just walking their children on Saturday morning. It's a really good thing to see, actually.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's a great way to connect with them, and you spend a bit of time listening to them. So you're not caught up, discussing real world-changing things with them either. Just mundane little tasks like, how was your day? What did you learn yesterday? Or what did you do? Who's your best friend? These kind of things I feel like are great just to keep connected to your kids.
Mm. What's the one question Arlo keeps asking you? What can he do? Is he missing something in particular?
He always wants to get to the farm and ask when can he ride a tractor? When can he drive a tractor? When can he do this? And I'm like, oh, you got to slow down. Days will come. But he's a very motivated individual. He likes to play basketball a little bit. So he's always asking, when will lockdowns end so we can get out and play some ball and stuff. But no, the main thing he loves is getting a bit of farm time and learning all the tricks of the trade down there.
Yeah. And I suppose we all look forward to the end of lockdown, wherever that can be, and getting back to being active and playing sport again. I know it's obviously a very important ingredient of the school. And
I agree.
Yeah, our basketballers have always been inspired by you, David. And I think, I heard so many people talking about you playing for Melbourne United again. So I think in 5 years' time, when we do this again, you'll still be playing.
I hope not, actually. I'll be probably be in a wheelchair then, but no, I'll be back around. You can get me back on in a couple of years' time. I'm sure I'll be around. So it'll be fine. I look forward to, the next meeting and chatting about the changes in life. So it's always good to keep progressing and keep motivated and keep moving forward.
It's a pleasure as always, David, to talk to you, and I thank you for your time this morning. I wish you a very happy Father's Day for Sunday.
Thank you. Same to you. No worries.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.